think I'm live. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check it out. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so it's live. Okay. Okay, so if you're tuning in, hi, I'm Roxanne. This is my channel, and I'm doing a hangout today to talk about flat earth and other truths. I believe that the truth will set you free, and I want to talk about those things today. I'm doing hangouts at the weekends. Today is no different from any other weekend. Last weekend I came on Saturday evening, as I had too much things to do on Sunday afternoon, which is today. And today's no different from any other day, is it? I've got a bit of a house full today, so I'm out in the garden. Got my son, another family member, and Daddy inside, my daughter and her friend, who she's got staying over this weekend. And we're having a barbecue today, so I don't really have anywhere in the house to do this live stream from. So I'm out in the garden. I'm hoping everybody can hear me. The flights were rerouted yesterday for the wedding, weren't they? So every so often we've got planes going overhead. So that may be somewhat of a disturbance. And some of my neighbours have started making up noise in their garden, deciding to cut grass at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been quiet out here up until now. So I'm just going to go onto my channel because my internet's really bad. So I don't even know if it's coming through properly. So to anyone that's tuned in, thank you for tuning in. I can't see the chat room properly, so please bear with me for a second. AJM, thanks for tuning in. Richie B, thanks for tuning in. Flat Earth Pilgrim, thanks for tuning in. On a Plane, thanks for tuning in. Damien Thorne, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to talk about quite a few things today, but I'd like to kick off on this note. Where's my drink? I'd like to say, cheers to the truth. Cheers to trying to connect with people. Cheers to unity. And cheers to Kumbaya, because we like that song, don't we?
Yeah.
It's actually one of our favourite songs that we like to sing around our campfire. But we have, don't we? We have a campfire. Yeah. So I'm just going to keep the camera on me. I'm going to pan it round here. And I'm going to show you our lovely little campfire right here. And can I just have a unison answer here, girl? Like the song Kumbaya. Yes! Do we love singing it? Yes! So we might give you a rendition of Kumbaya if we're all brave enough. And the boys said that they would get involved as well. And it's a bit early to light the fire, but you know, we'll carry on singing it whether anyone likes it or not. We've never had any complaints from the neighbours, so cheers. Now, the first thing I'm going to get on with today is talking to my daughter and her friend. We had a really interesting discussion yesterday, didn't we, girls? Mm-hmm. About critical thinking and independent thought. And, you know, not necessarily being told something and pertaining that to be the truth just because you've been told something. So both of them are in year 10. Both of them are doing their GCSEs at the moment. Yet next year they'll be taking their exams. Both of them, I would say, are in the top percentage of their academic year. So they're in, you know, the grade 9, 8 average. So I'm going to talk to them today about their views on what they're being taught at school. And I've had some really, really interesting conversations with people this week. And people have been telling me that they're looking to talk to their kids more and get their kids involved and like full ratings to that. There's even some people that have been telling me their kids are actually going to come out hangouts with them and full ratings to that, because I think the more of the youth that we can get, you know, talking about this in public and finding it acceptable to talk about these things instead of them being ridiculed, I think that's the way forward, because that's the baton. That's where the baton's going. It's going to that generation after ours. My daughter today would rather stay off camera, and her friend would rather stay off camera, but they're more than willing to talk to me about these things. And we did have an interesting conversation yesterday, as I was saying. So I will start off with my daughter, and I will say, right, yesterday we were having a discussion, and in that discussion, I was asking you to think for yourself. And we were talking about at school. We were talking about when you are going to lessons at school, when you're in your national curriculum lessons, and when you're being taught, how much are you able to freely think for yourself, and how much do you pertain to be the truth that you're being taught, and how do you differentiate factual teachings from belief teachings, be it that you go to a Church of England school where you've got a chapel in your school, haven't you, and a chaplain. Yeah. Have you got a resident chaplain? Are they there all the time? Are they there 5 days a week?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, and they're just in the chapel 5 days a week. And what can you go and talk to that person?
Yeah, but he also does like assemblies as well.
Right. So would it be fair to say that you've got you could possibly have simultaneously in 1 week, you could have religious studies lessons in 1 week and science lessons?
Yeah, we do every week. Yeah, we do. So I have RE first and then science after.
And how do you feel about that? What does that do to your thought process when you've got one teachings on one hand telling you scripture teachings, and then you've got science on the other hand kind of conflicting with what that person's telling you?
Well, in RE, it's just like we did like the design argument and how it's like.
Can you sit here? I just want to ask the chat room. Can you hear my daughter as she's speaking? Because she's not speaking very loud and she's leaning back.
Louder, sorry.
Yeah.
Like in RE, like we learned about like the design argument and things like that, and then like in like well, I'm doing it now in science. We learned about the Big Bang Theory, and it does like conflict quite a bit because it's different to the 6 days of creation. So
what do they teach you in the 6 days of creation at school? You don't have to. I'm not asking you to quote the Bible. I'm saying what at 15 years old is your take on the scriptures? Just give me like a little summarization over the top. You don't have to go into detail. Just the simplicity of it.
God like created
everything. And science tells you
that it was all created from like reactions of gases and heat and energy.
And be it that you sorry, I don't know where the wind's coming from, everyone. Be it that you are doing science for your GCSEs. Sweetheart, are you doing science for your GCSE? Right, so they're both doing science for their GCSEs. How much do you buy into the science that you're being taught?
Well, the physics has you questioning more because it's all about, well, with the Big Bang Theory, it's all about how a theory was created, and how scientists presume the world was made, where things like biology, it's more factual. I mean, they've seen it through a microscope, they know what it is, its function, where it's more believable, where the theory is less. I mean, a lot of people just say, well, scientists have declared it's a theory and it can be right, so they immediately assume it is. But they haven't actually looked on the other side of the...
And what do you personally think about that? What do you personally think about them making a point and making a belief and making that point and then saying that's what it is?
I mean, like, you automatically do believe it, though, because, like...
Why?
Because, like, you think scientists are smart and they've had loads of years in what they're doing, so you wouldn't really want to question, like, if what they're saying is, like not real or not right.
Although, in my opinion, they're quite hypocritical because they say that religious people, they're all, theories and just beliefs, but it's also a belief of the Big Bang Theory. So it's a bit of.
So would you say the spinning ball, the globe that you live on, would you believe that that's fact or theory? And I'm asking my daughter's friend that, by the way.
I mean, personally, if you were to look up the globe on, the internet, every time you see it, it's all edited, it's all CGI, and it just, when you really think about it, it makes you feel like it's not real, and that they're just like telling you this is what it looks like.
And what do you feel about you know, just like what you just said, what do you think would happen to you if you stood up in science and you said that to your science teacher and you said, you know, look,
I've already done it.
What do you think? Okay, what happens when you do
the
that?
whole class goes like Garrity and just starts.
Speak louder. What happens when you question the authority of what the science teacher's saying?
Like the whole class goes Garrity and like kinds of starts like pointing you out and saying like, how dare you think like that? And like the teacher's like, oh, of course not, like, and things like that, and like saying how there's already been people that have gone up to the moon, and but it kind of like contradicts though, because like a lot of kids are like, oh, they never went to the moon, but yet they're like pointing me out saying that I think the world's flat. And
so you're saying on one hand most of your friends believe that nobody went to the moon,
yeah,
but on the other hand they'll call you crazy for thinking that, yes, anything other than a ball.
Yeah.
So would you say that there's somewhat of an awakening going on with your generation, but they've just not quite grasped fully possibly the extent and the magnitude of how far that madness goes? So they're kind of looking at you like you guys jumped on the whole "you are fake news." You guys like that saying, like you guys kind of use that in your banter talk, you know. So how much do you buy into what's going on the TV?
That much.
When they show you madnesses going on in Syria, how much do you believe the crisis images that are being shown to you? You know, when the kids were getting doused with the water from the chemical attack.
Oh yeah.
Did you buy into that video footage? Did that look legit to you? Fully legit?
It was probably staged just to show what it's like, to visualize it.
Were you aware of the news stories that came out after saying just what you said, that other countries were calling accusations out saying that was staged? And did you see the ridicule that went on in the media because of that? So what does that tell you as individuals? When you see that kind of ridicule going on an international scale, and there's you in your school and you're just in your classroom, you kind of go, well, it's going to happen on this scale then, isn't it? It's going to happen. So do you think any of your teachers are possibly swayed by alternative information?
I mean,
as in they're not fully buying into what they're teaching?
Oh yeah, definitely. Mr. Arnold has a flat earth mark.
Mr. Arnold has a flat earth mark.
And he teaches geography.
He teaches geography.
And in A level as well.
And A level. And he's got a flat earth mark.
Yeah, because he came into my science.
Just sat on his desk like...
No, he came into my maths on Friday and he had it in his hand and I said, sir. He just looked at me like quite blankly.
So you're going to have words with him then?
Yeah, I think I might have to.
You have to have a little sit down with him and say, listen.
You know.
Give him the little nod.
Yeah. And like also our RE teacher, Mr. Williams, believes in the Big Bang Theory, which is kind of weird because he's an RE teacher.
Yeah, he's an RE teacher.
Right, so you've got an RE teacher that buys into the Big Bang Theory.
He does go to church as well, so I was a bit like...
And so do you feel like that's a conflict of interest right away with that?
Yeah, I do.
And so how are you supposed to have that person teach you things and then go off into your life as an adult and go, right, because I was taught that at that school at that age, that's now my stance on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving forward from that, with regards to the globe, do you think that you could show me bendy water that sticks to a ball without giving me a answer that involves a belief system? Could you show me water? Right, if I get you a football just now and I ask you to pour some water over it, can you show me how that water is not sticking to that ball, but it sticks to the globe, and you give me an answer that doesn't involve a belief system? Or can you just tell me why the water sticks to the globe without involving a belief system? Can you answer that question without involving a belief system? Can you factually answer? A measurable proof that you can show me water bending around a ball and using gravity, even if you use magnets and all sorts. Do you reckon you could do it? These are two 15-year-olds going through GCSEs and they're both going... So I'll repeat it again slowly. Can you show me why water sticks to a ball on the heliocentric model but not using an answer that uses a belief system.
No, I don't think.
Or do you think that's a trick question?
I mean,
Does it feel like a trick question?
yeah.
Do you kind of go, oh, that's not fair? Wait, no, gravity. You want to say gravity,
but
don't you?
gravity
You want to go,
but
what's
gravity's
another
only
word?
a theory, though.
How can I get around it?
Yeah.
Can you give me something that's not airy fairy Harry Potter talk? Gravitas. Give me something that's not a belief system that proves to me why the water sticks to the globe, but I can't see it sticking to anything else.
There's like no really other explanation for it.
So what do you think your science teacher would tell you if you asked him that? Can you show me why water?
Gravity.
He will just say gravity, won't he? He'll
I
just
think-
stand
I
behind
think he
gravity
would,
and he'll
yeah.
just
Because that's the
use
only
that
thing
as his
that'll keep
shield.
it down, yeah. I think so. Because I don't think of anything else that could hold it.
It doesn't make sense because if gravity is strong enough to hold, tons and tons of, weight of water.
Yeah,
then
but
how
it's
can a
light
plane
enough to
fly
let
off?
those float, isn't it?
And there's
Yeah.
water in
And there's
there.
condensate, there's precipitation in them.
But then how can a plane fly and get off the after? It just doesn't make any sense logically.
And do you make any connections between gravity and density?
Yeah.
Do you see any similarities? Do you see like a bit of a crossover there where there's a bit of a blurred line, and then you can kind of analogize gravity as density?
Yeah. Because like the heaviest something is, it's gonna stay down.
Yeah. And does that make sense to you when you're taught that at school?
Well, you can see it.
You can measurably prove it, can't you? It's like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I can see that. Wow, it's in front of my eyes. Whereas you can't see gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to do your heads in. I don't want to go on for too long. I just kind of want to leave you with those bits and pieces to think about. And when you're going through school, maybe just question some of the things that you're being taught. You don't have to be a conscientious objector, but always be aware when you're being taught things that it's not necessarily true. I mean, would you also say that science becomes obsolete after a certain time, becomes out of date, has to get updated?
Yeah.
Would you say that you're living in a time now where it's time for that to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want to be a biologist? Were you saying about being a biologist?
Yeah, I'm a biologist.
She's really good at biology.
So you want to go into a field of biology, you want to go into a field of law. I think with your generation, if you can get yourself into those seeded positions and find out what's really going on, you can possibly go and help stop the narrative of the constant lie that's being taught. And it is now become a lie because it's a barefaced where people have proved that we live on a flat plane of existence. Yeah. And it's not being scientifically accepted. So unless your generation gets into those scientifically accepted positions where you can push that correct narrative, then and only then will they maybe stop educating a belief in school, because that's what they're doing. They're putting you through the education system and they're teaching you a belief system, and then they're testing you on it at the end to see if you've memorized it correctly and to see if the indoctrinations work, so that you can go out into the employment or slave industry and work for a master or boss and voluntarily enslave yourself for the rest of your life to the continent of which you live on. So I stress to you to critically think and independently think, like how we did the little test with the fruit bowl. Yeah, not look at each other, not look for other people's reactions in McDonald's queue. Find where the till yourself. Don't keep looking for everybody else's reaction to find what your reaction's going to be. Yeah. Don't look for other people to make you confident to take your next step. Take your next step because you're confident to take it, not because the person over there said it was a good idea. That's why people that copy other people's homework don't ever know the answer, because they're just too busy looking at other people going, oh, I just did what they did. I don't know. So yeah, talk about it with your teachers. Definitely talk about it with I think the teacher that's walking around with a flat earth mug wants people to engage with him about it. Because why would you walk around with a flat earth mug unless you want kids to ask you about it? So ask him. But don't ask him in front of the whole class. Like, wait till the whole class is leaving and then just kind of hold back. And then just be like, okay, so sit down, sir. Got a couple of questions for you. Yeah? And see what he's saying.
But I also do think a lot of people say, like, when I've spoken to people,
and even
about
say
it
to
before,
your teacher, just say, look, even if I just put the camera like that, sir, can't you just like say you're Mr. A, I'm child B, and this is child C, and just talk and just say, look, can I just record it?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, thank you for talking to me, gals.
That's
I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody in the chat room, for listening to them talk. Pop your hands in so that they can see your little hand. There's one, and there's the other. All right, girls. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'll get back to carrying on here. So, I hope some of that was helpful for you. For any of you out there that have got children, that you're trying to tell them, there's another way to think, there's another way to ask questions. You don't have to just sit there and be given the spiel of stuff. And sorry, my partner's now looking at me. Are you okay? You okay? Yeah.
Yeah, these boys have got me on this game, like, stay.
No, I've no idea what's going on. I think my partner's looking for his drink. He's put it down somewhere and he's like, I can't help you. Could you do me a favour? Could you just rinse that out because it's been infested, and could you just get me another one? Do you know what it was? Because the girls were here. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. The girls were here, so I put it up there. Is it okay? Can you just rinse it out? Yeah. Okay, as I said, I've got a house call today. We've got other family over. So we've got a couple of teenagers in the house, a couple of teenagers upstairs, my dog, my partner, barbecue ready to go, the campfire ready to go, and we are going to have a little bit of a sing-song later because we like that. So I'll try and get a second while my partner's getting my drink. I'll just get a second to go into the chat room, and I'm extremely grateful for everybody that's tuned in. It's a lovely day outside, hence forth I thought, I've got nowhere in the house to go, I may as well. I don't want to go in the shed. Just don't want to go in there. Just don't want to go in there. My dog agrees. Don't want to go in there. So I said, let me come outside here. It's a lovely day. So I really don't expect people to be in their houses today. I expect them to be out enjoying it. It's a beautiful sunny day. So to any of you that are in their houses for cooking, family, friends, whatever, I appreciate you tuning in and listening to what I've got to say. So yeah, to everyone that's here, Richie B, Effie, William, John Smith, Globelive, thank you very much for tuning in. Greatly appreciated. Stan Smith, thank you very much for tuning in. Greatly appreciated. CC, hey, thank you for tuning in. If you're free in a little bit, I'll get Jessica to send you a link, and by all means jump on and we'll have a public conversation. John Jones, True Seeker, hi. Your son, definitely. I'm all for that. The more kids on the hangouts, the better. If we can get interactions going on with our kids, and go for it, bruv. That's all I'm saying to you. Push it forward any way you can. The truth sits in the children's laps. Yeah, like we have to put it with their generation. It's not just on our laps. It's not our truth to bear. It's theirs as well. And in 15, 20 years time, when we've all got grandkids, it's our grandkids' truth to bear as well. So full ratings to you, John. Midnight Gardener, thank you very much for tuning in. Lady Onyx, hello my darling, thank you very much for tuning in. 3-3, all right, thank you for tuning in. And as I said, I hope everything that's just been said has been a help to some people so far. I know I can't be the only one with children. I know I can't be the only one with kids in the education system. Moon landings denier, fake space. Hi, thanks for tuning in. Double speak, thanks for tuning in. 5 Artes Liberales, thanks for tuning in. And everyone else in the chat room, thanks for tuning in. I've had a really long week this week with work. I'm so grateful that it's a weekend. I am going to maintain making content. I'm not going to try and conform to any standard. I'm just going to do me. It's all I know how to do. I don't know how to do anything else. I just know how to do me. So that's all I'm going to do. Excuse me, I'm going to have a little sip. We could all walk 100 miles in each of our shoes and still not pertain to know the struggle, the plight, the happiness, the sadness that other people have gone through in their life. Sorry, just getting my cigarette. I've come to this point that I am now through no accident. I've been on a journey for a while. And if you want to tune into any of my original hangouts, you'll hear the path of how I've come to be where I am right now. And if everyone just gives me a second, I don't really like silence. I don't like talking in silence. So can everyone just give me a second while I put some music on that won't get me a copyright strike? I'm just gonna. My dog's just throwing up a leaf in the background because he thinks leaves are salad. So if you can hear a dog throwing up in the background, it's just Kenny being sick with a leaf. So you'll have to excuse me with that one. But yeah, I don't like silence in the background, so just bear with me a second. Get there in a minute, sorry. So yeah, there's a few things I want to talk about. My intentions, where I'm going to go from here on in, why I'm making content, and where I think my journey is going to go from here on inwards. I'm going to maintain making this content because I feel it's a useful tool for people to show other people. I feel like sometimes people like to know that they're not alone with their thoughts. And so I sometimes, think that maybe some of the things that I may say may resonate with other people. I, by no shape, in which form whatsoever, want to try and sit here and try and preach to people. Don't want to do that. I'm just on here to give you my perspective, my view on things, how I see things in my life. And I'm also trying to document my own life for my own reasons. I want to be able to look back on my own thoughts, and this is a good way for me to do that. A type of vlog for myself, a kind of audio visual memo of my journey of thinking, and having people have the right to reply and interact while I'm thinking out loud with the thoughts I've got, and having the discussions that I'm having. I feel I grow as a person. My consciousness expands when I see what other people are saying, and the fact that I'm not on my own with thinking the things that I think. And I don't feel I should feel guilty for that. I don't think I should feel guilty for wanting to connect with people and wanting to with a lack of ego and the most amount of humility possible, try and reach out to people and say, listen, I've found the truth. This is what it means to me, and I'm just trying to give it to you. I'm not really here for the subscriptions. I'm not really here for the views. Couldn't give a shit. I'm still going to just do me in whichever way possible. I've got a family. I've got a full schedule in my life, and I'm making time for this because I want to, because I'm passionate about doing it. And I'm out here in my garden. My garden. Look at the neighbours. Look, they're all there. They're all there. All their windows are open, so they're all going to hear what I'm saying. I'm going to go out of my house. They all know what I think. I'm not like in my house hiding away from people, having this opinion online and having the next opinion on road. I'm me. I'm going to stay me. Over the next few months, I'm going to make more time for spreading the truth. I'm going to make more time to connect with my family members, because I feel like that's where I've got to start. I've connected with my local family members, my brother that lives in London, my nephews, my partner's family, they live in London. I've connected with all of them. But I want to connect with family that I've got that are a bit further afield. I've got an auntie in Hawaii. I've got family that live up north. My father lives up north. I want to connect with him. He's someone that I've been talking about Flat Earth with quite a bit. And, you know, I've got my own personal opinion of how I feel I need to take things in my own life. Yeah, for me to feel satisfied, for me to go to sleep at night and say, I've done the best I can. Yeah. So for me, I've got quite a few graduates in my family. I've got quite a few heavily indoctrinated people in my life, yeah, in my family that have got, you know, paperwork pertaining to graduations. So I want to appeal to those members of my family, and I want to try and wake those members of my family up so that they can help me push this forward. That's what I intend to do. So within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be traveling a little bit to go and see my family, and I'm going to initialize the last segment of waking them up, and I'm going to then try and butt heads with my family, because they're people that I trust. They're people I know won't try to snake me or stab me in the back. And I'm going to connect with my family, and I'm going to say, listen, and I urge everybody else to do that as well. I urge everybody else to connect with their family, and to try and use the skills within your own families. If you've got people that are scientists in your family, if you've got, you know, whatever skills that you can use in your own family, you're better off doing that instead of looking for other people. Remember, critical thinking, independent thought. Yeah. So me, I'm going back to base. I'm going back to base with my truth, and I'm going to try and get the help from members of my family, from my brother, from my dad, because I truly do believe that unless we can gate crash and overthrow the scientific community, all of this is just going to go in circles like it has done for the last few hundred years. Personally, that's my personal thoughts. Don't mind what anyone else. I fully respect what anyone else says. That's fine. But I'm just telling you what my personal journey is going to involve. I'm going for them fuckers. I'm going for the fuckers that are lying so that they lie to our kids in school. Yeah. The education system, you reverse the education system all the way back. You reverse it right back to source. And it all comes from the scientific community. Yeah. Which comes from pre-approved, accredited scientists pushing through papers, having those papers accepted as fact, and then that fact that's bullshit being taught to the kids. So I'm going for that fucker. Right. Targets on them for me. Yeah, I won't stop. I'm gonna spend the rest of my life doing this. I'm not asking anybody to join me like some movement. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm openly telling you what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm going to speak to as many people possible so that the masses know as many people as possible. And I'm going for the scientific community. Me personally, and that's where I'm going. I'm going for them fuckers. I don't know what everyone else is doing, but that's what I'm doing. One of these days, I genuinely will learn how to work this. So now, I cannot see inside my chat whatsoever. So Roxanne's going to have to learn this somehow. No, that's not going to work. Okay. I'm just not sure what I've done, guys. Sorry if it's gone off air. I'm not sure if I've gone off. Sorry. I'll take it as somewhere. So now I've lost my little camera. I've lost everything. This is good fun. This is real good fun. Okay. Live events, YouTube. There we are. Okay, so I'm back. So this just shows you what a newbie I am at this. I don't know how to have background music and my chat and my video all at the same time. So for a hot minute, I'm going to go into the chat, because when I do go into the chat, it really does kind of disrupt my line of thought. And as I said, I've only just scratched the surface of the things I want to talk about today. I really want to do my part in standing up for myself in what I believe is right. Yeah, I haven't come through this far in my life and become 37 years old to all of a sudden think, oh, maybe it's not right for me to do this, and maybe it's not right for me to do that. So I do want to talk about a few of those bits as well. To everybody that's tuned in, again, I greatly appreciate you being here. Chilster Deluxe, thank you very much for tuning in. Tristan, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for the moderators for moderating the chat. I'm thinking we're obviously going to have a few numpties in the chat room. DITRH. I'm not really sure how to. Ditter. All right, I'm not sure. DITRH. I'm just going to say that. Hi, thanks for tuning in. William Brasky, thanks for tuning in. Rainbow Bright, thank you very much for tuning in. So yeah, I'm sorry if I'm not keeping up with the chat room. If anyone has anything they want to ask me, if I've said anything that anyone wants to bring up and wants me to kind of clarify or verify what I've said, or question anything I've said, by all means, like, bring that up in the chat room and I will scroll through and I will try and get to it. I will be having a guest on hopefully today. His name is CC. My last hangout, I believe he was in my last hangout as well, and we had another hangout prior to that about 2 weeks ago, called Flat Earth, a Public Conversation, and in that chat is the link to his channel. So hopefully in a wee while he'll be joining me. I'm yet to send him the link because I've not copied and pasted it yet, so bear with me on that one, Chris. And again, thank you everybody for tuning in and listening to what I've got to say. I've been awake for a few years now. I've been awake for about, well, 3 years. And when I mean fully awake, I mean I stopped trying to prove that I lived on a globe anymore. It was a belief system. I was in a belief system for 34 years of my life. Cheers. Cheers to that. I'm going to be saying a lot of that today. Cheers to me even being here and carrying on, despite the lunacy that goes on. I thought my biggest plight in life was just waking up from the indoctrination. Boy, was I wrong. I didn't think it was going to be another madness negotiating being able to make live content, but then again, here I am. I'm me, and I only know how to do me. I don't know how to do anybody else. I only know how to do the Roxanne that wakes up every morning and decides to get dressed and be a mummy and go and do everything she has to do in a day and then do this. So I'm here today to reiterate a few things that I've said in previous hangouts. Yeah. So to anyone that's tuning in that hasn't tuned in before, you don't live on a spinning ball flying through space at however many miles an hour. Yeah. You just don't. Okay. It's utter lunacy. Yeah. No one's got any measurable freaking proof of that. It's utter lunacy. It's utter lunacy that you're ridiculed in public for talking about it as well. But hey ho, here we go. This is about as public as it gets. Outside, in the garden, neighbours all around. Everyone's out in their gardens today. So I am going to maintain making live content. I'm going to go out and do activism. And what I mean by activism is I'm going to be engaging with people in public. I'm going to be talking to people I'm going to be engaging with people. Sorry, I'm just trying to find some background music because it's gone a bit quiet and I like a little bit of background music, so bear with me 1 second. There we go. Lovely. So I'm going to be engaging with people. I've got a active live link up in London in Hyde Park on the 23rd and the 24th of June this year. We'll be doing activism on the Saturday and we'll be going to Speaker's Corner on the Sunday and maintaining with the activism throughout the Sunday as well. There's a few other link ups as well. I don't know off the top of my head. I know that John Jones is in the chat room. John Jones, if you're in the chat room still, could you put the details to your link up, which is next Saturday on the 26th of May? I just can't remember the place off the top of my head, John. Sorry, mate. It's the 26th of May, so it's next Saturday. This Saturday coming. And it's, if you could you put it in the chat room for everyone? I can't see my chat room now. So yeah, or if someone's in the chat room that knows when that link up is, could you put it in the chat room? Or John, but John, if you're in there, could you put it in? So yeah, there's a couple of London link ups going on. I've also got a bit of a situation going on with my family as well that may conflict a little bit. So I'll see how the next few days go. I'm really, really very hopeful to go to John's one on Saturday. And I'm really, really hoping that I'll be able to be there. So yeah, if you're in the chat room, pop those details in. And yeah, June for my one. And I'm sure there's a lot of other ones going on, and feel free to pop those in the chat room if you're in the chat room and you've got the details for them. My week's been pretty hectic, so I've not really been able to be as active online this week as I'd have liked to have been. Yeah, so with regards to me making content, I have a lot of thoughts and feelings, as I'm sure a lot of you people do as well that are watching. And I really don't want to be policed or censored or told what to say by anybody. I'm not looking for any permission or any credence from people for me to do me. I'll do me regardless. Thank you very much. So, you know, if I do offend anyone in the room for anything I said, by all means, I've given you the right to reply. You're in the chat room. If I say anything that's obtrusive to any of you in there, please point it out. I'll try and reply to your comment. And, you know, I'm not really trying to tread on people's toes. So in that sense of the meaning, I'm going to press on. Realistically speaking, the plight I've gone through in my journey, yeah, awakening and going through the initial ridicule that I did at work and with my social and my, you know, acquaintances and stuff, I was very disillusioned to the flat earth community. And I thought just because people were saying, you know, they know the earth to be flat, it meant that they were going to be a reciprocative type of person, you know, do unto me as I do unto you type of thing. Sadly mistaken. So myself, I've gone through too much in my journey to stop now, to stop here, just because I don't conform to how other people do things, or, you know, my personality might not sit well with other people. And I understand that in other hangouts. I've said that. I've said, you know, I understand that, you know, I might not be, you know, some people's cup of tea. Some people might not like my point of view. My point of view may rub people up the wrong way, and fair enough, fine. That's on them. I'm still going to do me though. Still not going to change who I am. I'm still going to be the person I want to be, and the person that I pertain to be when I look in the mirror. And the reason I'm talking about this is because when I look in the mirror, I see the different facets of my personality. Yeah, I see the ego, I see the humiliative side, I see the feared side, I see the comforted side, and I try and keep them all in check. Yeah, and coming through the journey of awakening that I did, I realised pretty fucking quickly that if I was going to interact with people about a subject as big as this, I needed to kind of leave the ego back there. I needed to leave the ego back there, or I'm not going to be having a conversation with that person from my heart. I'm going to be having a conversation with that person from my ego. Yeah. And the conversation, how far is the conversation really going to fucking go if it starts on ego? So all I can assume really is that my humiliative side has been taken for some sort of joke by some people, and it's been taken advantage of by some people. And I'm here to remind people that I'm going to carry on being the humiliative person I am, because I believe that's the only way forward. Yeah. Right now, I've got no proof that it's the only way forward, because the only thing I've ever received for being a humiliative type of person is flack. But yet, I press on despite the flack. So I'm maintain being the person I am. I'm to maintain engaging people with the way I do, because that's me. I shouldn't have, some kind of paranoid thoughts about interacting with people for the first time because I think they might all be agents. Well, for fuck's sake. Everyone's agents, everyone's fucking shills, everyone's this, everyone's that. I want to find out for my fucking self, innit? It's like someone saying, don't touch the red button. Like, what happens when you tell people not to touch the red button? Don't touch that button. The first thing they want to do is fucking touch the button, innit? Like I said, I don't think a lot of us have got to this point that we're at right now through some type of accident. Like, we've got here through our own thoughts. And my thoughts have brought me to this point I'm at now. So who out there, other than maybe the few, is really looking at the data of what's going on with the sun? Who's really like measuring it all up and getting like scientific documents together to overthrow the scientific community? Who's doing that? Who's slowing down enough to do that? Who's slowing down enough to pay attention and maybe try and train themselves under a non-indoctrination environment, self-taught type of thing? I, for one, I'm interested in that. Yeah, as much as I gaze up at the amazing light show up there, I don't really understand what's going on up there. I see the star trails in the time-lapse cameras, but do I really know that the way I know tying up my shoelaces? Like, I can do it with my eyes shut. I just know what's going on. I know why it is the way it is. There's a lot of people out there that are spending a lot of time looking at those things. And maybe people should be assisting some people with trying to document that in a way that it can be institutionally accepted, so that one can overthrow the education system, because I do want them to stop lying to the kids. I've got two children in the education system myself. I don't personally like sending them to school and them being verbally abused every day and indoctrinated with bullshit every day, indoctrinated with a belief system every day. I don't like it. Do I have to start ranting and raving about it? No, because they're still going to put their uniforms on tomorrow and go to school, aren't they? Unless I pull them out of school. And then to do that, I'm going to have to stop making money. And then to do that, there's less money in the pot. And then there's less food in the fridge. And then there's less money to keep the overheads overgoing. Like, we're all still stuck in the fucking system one way or the other, aren't we? So, I said it a good month ago now in one of my first hangouts. I feel like the only way that we're going to blow this lie up is by putting people in those positions of key positions for them to start blowing up the indoctrination from the inside out. But when's that going to start? And meanwhile, the activism's going on, or after it? How are we supposed to do all that if we don't communicate with people and start going back and forth with people? That's not sectioning off. That's not making groups. That's just being human beings, just interacting with other people. So now we're all being fear-mongered into not interacting with people in case it's going to be called a group thing. Is that what's going to happen? If there's two people in the chat today that happen to be into scientific documents and they contact me after and they say, Roxanne, look, we're looking into this, we're looking into that, look, take some time and look at it. Like, can't we invest in that as human beings and say, look, let's all do that. That's looking like a good idea. That's looking like a good idea. Yeah, there might be some ideas that might waste our time. There might, but unless we look, we're all just going to be sitting here doing echo chambers, aren't we? There goes the umbrella. We're all going to be doing echo chambers, aren't we? That gust of wind just came from nowhere. So for me personally, I want to slow down enough to have conversations with people that are indoctrinated enough to unpick the indoctrination, if you understand where I'm coming from. My father's someone that is somewhat indoctrinated well enough for me to sit down and have a momentous conversation with. So my dad's someone that I want to be connecting with, and my auntie and my brother and a couple of other family members that I want to sit down with, and I want to try and, communicate with my family and try and formulate a plan for me so that I know when I go to sleep, I've done the best that I can. That's just me. No one has to agree with me. No one has to disagree with me. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there. Putting it out there, what I'm looking to do. So before I forget, I need my daughter's help to send the link to Chris. So I'm just going to call my daughter. Terribly unprofessional, sorry. Jessie! Jessica! Come here. Can you help me send the link to Cece, please? Because I can't remember how we did it, but your copy and pasting thing on this whole adding invites thing is just, sorry. Clever Roxanne. I just want to make sure he's got it because I know that he may want to jump in and have a conversation. Oh, it won't come up for some reason. Even when I do that, it doesn't come up. Yeah, and now where do I send it? That's what I'm trying to say.
You need to close.
Sorry, guys. I don't
You need to close that. You need to just open up your Google Plus thing.
That.
Yeah. And then it should say, where is it there? Go on that. Then copy. Yeah, and then just copy, paste it.
What's that? That one?
Control V.
Is that it, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's it?
I think so.
How do I get the screen back up now? Do I just do that? Oh, yeah.
Have you got it?
I'm back. Yeah, look, I've done it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm clever. Yep, that's all. Thank you very much. Can you just shut the door as well? So, Jessica? Guys, you'll have to give me a second. My 15-year-old daughter's just walked off and not shut the door. So just one sec. Right, I'm back. Okay, now completely lost my train of thought, so I shall now just attempt to go into the chat. Bear with me. Like I said, don't really expect to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm not trying to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm just me. So, really and truthfully, I'm still going to carry on being me. Like I said, I understand that some people might be offended by some of the things I'm saying. And if they are, that's their right to reply. And if they do reply with something compass mentis, I'm more than happy to respond. But I'll affirm again, we don't live on a spinning ball. We live on a plane of existence. Yeah, no one's got any measurable proof of any spinning ball. No one's got any measurable proof of water sticking to a ball. Yeah. Me personally, I've just stated to everybody how I feel it's going to have to move forward for me. For me, not for me and a load of other people, just for me. Me personally, that's how my view on things is. Yeah. That's personally what I'm going to spend all my free time, instead of having some random hobby. That's what I'm going to spend all my free time doing from this point onwards, for as long as I live, until I see a change. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to speak to as many people as I can. I'm going to make as many connections as I can. And I'm going to push it forward as much as I can, as many times as I can. Hopefully more in human public interaction than online. I'd rather focus on being out there.com than being on here. So, you know, even this week, I've had interactions with people every single day this week. Admittedly, more youngsters than grown-ups, but I really don't see that as a handicap. I think the younger that you can talk to people at, I think, you know, even though if we've learned late, shouldn't we at least help other people learn early? Bottom line, the youngsters, they need to be woken up before the indoctrination's fully set in, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know how other people feel about that, but I personally would like to see much more younger people being woken up on a regular basis and asking to question the education system that's trying to teach them bullshit. You know, it's not teaching them factual based knowledge, it's teaching them a belief system, and it's legal. Richie, I did see the Whitby one. I thought that was really, really good. I think when you're in a location like that, a load of people out on the street anyway, so they're really kind of up for talking to people. I think it's a brilliant environment when you've got a high traffic area like that, and you've got banners that size, and you've got loads of people actually wanting to have human interaction with people. I think it's a great way to spread the word, especially when you're telling people that there are other people online talking about it as well. You're kind of driving people to know that they're not on their own with that thought. So I think it's a great look. Absolutely great look. So, like I said, everybody that's going back and forth in the chat room, now can you see why I don't really concentrate on the chat room too much? Because it distracts my train of thought and it stops me freely thinking. That's what it ultimately stops me from doing. It stops me from thinking freely, thinking independently by myself with my own free thoughts, not swayed by negative opinions of shite. And I will call it shite. My show isn't a show. My hangout is just me sitting here talking. Yeah, I don't ever want to ever look like I've had, you know, a shit show when I've had a hangout. Hello, gals. You're about to do your revision. Yeah, you're gonna sit at the table down there. Yeah. Good. All right. So the girlies are out. It's right. It's not on camera anyway. So all right. Sorry, everybody. I was just shutting the door for the girls. Yeah, it's just me talking. It's just me talking. So, realistically speaking, I'm not going to look to have a show. I'm not going to have a show environment. I'm not ever going to have a bulletin point. I tried that once and it failed miserably for me. All I was doing was trying to follow the bulletins I'd written down. And I said to myself, what am I doing? Why am I trying to come across like a news reporter? I'm not trying to be a news reporter. Report what news? What, the only news to report in Flat Earth at the moment is the amount of cat fighting that's going on between people. It's fucking embarrassing. It's embarrassing to see grown folk behaving like a bunch of fucking school kids. And that's nothing to reflect on the chat room. I can't see what the chat room's doing right now. Yeah. My internet's gone whack. I can't get my music in the background, which is like a comfort to me. I like vibes. I'm a vibes kind of person. I can't be asked with all this catfighting. I'm going to do me regardless. And anybody who wants to talk to me in the same way I'm talking to them, I'm up for communicating with them. So to anybody that's in the chat room, yeah, I'm more than happy to have a public conversation with any of you. Yeah, any of you. If you want to talk to me in the humiliative way that I'm sitting here talking to people, then by all means. But it's up to me who I communicate with. It's up to me who my ears and my eyes absorb. Yeah. My ears and my eyes aren't fucking dustbins. They've been dustbins for 30 odd years of my life. I didn't wake up to carry on using them as dustbins. That's why I don't watch TV. That's why I don't watch Desperate Housewives. Because it's the same shit that goes on. Just people throwing bollocks at each other. Can't be asked. Me, I'm more on communicating with people that aren't awake, trying to wake them up. Yeah, I'm more on communicating with people that want to wake other people up. Yeah, I'm more on communicating with people that are looking at data, trying to push the scientific community over on its head. That's who I'm on communicating with. If I'm communicating with anyone, that's who I'm on communicating with. Stand up, period. That's it. I'm not on here to do dilly-dallying about fucking cat fighting with people, trying to pander to people's fucking egos. I can't be bothered with it. Not on it. Not on it whatsoever. You know? How long are we going to let the children go to school and be shown that fucking spinning ball? How long are we going to allow that to be legal? Do we want to see in our lifetime that become eradicated? Because I do. I don't want to pass it over to another lifetime and hope that they'll deal with it. Not on that. My son's almost 11. My next daughter's birthday, she'll be 16. And if the education carries on the way it is, they'll have spent their whole education life being indoctrinated with a bullshit lie. So how many other more generation of children are going to be brought up with that lie? And we're just going to socially accept it and socially not accept people talking about any other narrative than a spinning ball. How long? Really? How long are people going to keep communicating with people with their fucking egos? Can't we just leave the egos out of it? Really? How difficult is it to do? I don't want to look like a dickhead. Just leave your ego out of it. Subject's too massive to keep egos involved. It's too sensitive. It's too big. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than everyone here in the chat room. How long? How long are people going to open dialogue with people they've never even met using their egos and not keeping haven't even got the self-control to keep their egos in check? It's a sad state of affairs, that, isn't it, everyone? Sad, sad state of affairs. It's even worse than the bullshit I turn on the TV and watch. You know, you look at the shit show that's going on and you think, thank fuck people like that don't run the country. It's bad enough we've got people like that running the country. Thank fuck we haven't got people like that running it. Yeah? Just shows what happens when the people revolt sometimes, how out of control it can get so fucking quick. Need some people to act responsibly, man. Take some fucking responsibility for what they've done and what they've said. Yeah? And like keep their egos in check. And that's what they have to do to take responsibility, you know? Just keep the ego in check and just leave it out with that. Can't be bothered with it. I can't be bothered with it. I just can't. It's time wasting. Just like, you know, go phone someone that gives a fuck with all of that. Just drop me out of that. It's an A-B situation with negativity and I'm a C entity. So just see me later out of that. Not on it. Not on it. I want to talk to positive people. I want to talk to optimistic people. Like, see this glass right now. Some of you might think, oh, look, it's nearly finished. I'm going, well, I still got a bit left in it. Why are you trying to come into my video, bro? Why are you trying to scrape in to my life like this? No one asked you. No one asked you. Go away. No. No. This is not your live stream. Yeah, go away. Sorry about that. He smelt the alcohol and went, go on, let's have some. Yeah, so can't people just leave the ego somewhere else? I can leave it. I can listen. I will listen. I'll break into an a cappella version of Kumbaya, you know, one time. And not only that, I'll get other people to join in. That's how humiliative I am. In fact, maybe it's quite apt. It's Sunday. I wonder how many people would switch off if I started singing Kumbaya. Yeah. I wonder how many people would switch off. I'm not even in the chat room right now. I've got backing music playing in the background, but I do feel the urge to have a little sing-song, you know? I have the urge. I feel the urge coming on. Might be the Moscato. People do say, don't drink and make live streams. Well, I've broken every fucking rule in the book. I've spoken about campfires, I'm drinking, I'm talking about Kumbaya. Shoot me down in a blaze of glory, everyone. Yeah, I think I should. Do you know what? All I needed was one person in the chat room to say, please start singing Kumbaya, please. Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya, don't grave. Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya. Oh Lord, Kumbaya. Someone sing. See, I'll go into it, you know. I will go into it. Yeah. 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 It can happen. There's nothing wrong with feeling positive. There's nothing wrong with getting a new thirst for life because you're awake. There's nothing wrong with that. Shoot me down in a blaze of glory. I just sang Kumbaya. Is it a crime? Is it a crime to do it? No, if it's a crime, then I'm guilty. I'm sorry. Where was my ego when I did that? It was somewhere. Way over there. Way, way, way down there. There's nowhere here. My daughter will come back in a minute with a grime remix for Kumbaya. I'm sure she can spit some bars. She's brought her shades out. She's looking to stun. She just stopped there like she was going to go, wait. Yeah, I just want to, you know, do unto others as how people do unto me. Yeah, it's how I've lived my whole life. I'm not trying to be a different person just because I'm awake. I'm still Roxanne. I still find the same jokes funny. I still laugh. I still want to have a laugh. I'm still, you know, I still have a thirst for life. I haven't given up on life just because I'm awake. Yeah. It doesn't go like that. It doesn't go like that at all. So, yeah, my internet's not doing very well on my phone, so it's frozen, can't see the chat. Don't really know what anyone thought of the whole Kumbaya thing. I'm not really bothered, as I might go into it again. But in the meantime, I'm going to put some music on in the background, and I'm going to start talking again. However, I do need to just take a 60-second, 2-minute break just to take myself upstairs and use the bathroom. So if you can just all give me a minute, I will be back down in a second. I just need to use the bathroom. Yeah, and then I'm going to carry on talking. So just bear with me. Sorry, just give me a second. We're just going into the motion of lighting the barbecue. So just give me 1 second. And I'm back, and my dog's back, and he's gone again. Okay, I've got madness going on. We're going to shut the windows in the property so that none of the smoke from the barbecue goes in. Got the barbecue there, set up and ready to go. So that's what's about to go down. Yeah, so I might have to just adjust myself slightly while my partner is I'm just thinking where else I can sit actually. Sorry about this, guys. I'm just gonna get my daughter to take the dog away. So yeah, the only way I can see things going forward for me is to maintain making weekly live hangouts, having public conversations with people about Flat Earth and most of the other truths that go into Flat Earth, and going out and doing activism and trying to push some kind of credible documentation that's accepted to negate everything that the heliocentric model stands for. If anyone's got any better ideas, I'm all up for hearing it, but I don't see any other way for it to push forward other than that. So sorry. So my daughter's doing something in the background with my dog. So that's how I see it moving forward from here on in. That's where I see it going. And like I said, if anyone's got any better ideas, I'm all for hearing them. But as far as do you want to take him out there for a minute so he can see them, because he's not going to shut up otherwise. Sorry, a load of the neighbourhood dogs are all out in the kind of communal grounds of the road where we live, and they're all, my dog's like extremely jealous. Look at this. Can you see it? He's like trying to nosy at the other dogs that are out here, and these dogs are just making a whole heap of noise. So this is causing a heavy distraction, and I haven't got anywhere else in the house to go to do this live stream, so I'm kind of stuck out here because everywhere else in the house is being used. So yeah, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to bear with me a second. I'm trying to get my train of thought back in the zone. All these dogs going nuts in the background. I think they're all on heat or something. But my dog is like fixated on looking out there, and my daughter's having to watch him. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just going to apologise from now that I'm not as focused and as like in tune to this hangout as I would normally be. I would normally be in my, at my dining table. I would normally be fully in tune. All of this background noise wouldn't be going on. And yeah, maybe I may only go so far with this live just now, and there may be a possibility for me to go on later on this evening when things have quietened down a little bit. But I felt it was relevant to go on and say how I felt just now. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to stop making live hangouts. I'm not going to stop making content. I'm not going to stop going out in public and talking to people. And I'm not going to stop for the truth to push forward to the point where it gets to tipping point and we awake the masses and it becomes publicly accepted to talk about it and educate people about it. I feel like if that's not what I'm pushing for in my life, then what the fuck am I doing here? This is all just a load of old shit. If this is not what I'm doing, this is all for nothing. And I won't waste my time. Time is the one thing that you can't get back. You can get everything else in life back, but you can't get time back. Wasted time is wasted time. No one's giving you a rebate for wasted time. You might get a monetary rebate for it. Cancelled flight, such and such, but you're not going to get the time back. Jess, can you do me a favour? Can I borrow your phone for a second, please, darling?
Okay.
Cheers. Sorry, I can't get into the chat on my phone. Sorry, just bear with me a second. I can't interact with anyone on the chat because I can't see the chat, so just give me a sec. Right, sorry guys, I'm just trying to interact with you on the chat. Okay, right, I'm there. 007, oh my gosh, thank you so much for tuning in and taking the time out to listen to what I'm saying. Thank you. Wow. Hey, full ratings to you, 007. I've been watching a lot of your content, you know, bruv. A lot of your content. See this guy, 007. See everyone in the chat room, yeah? See if you don't know. This guy will help you get to know, you know. This guy has got some next perspective on things. To the point where I was like, you literally had my jaw dropping at some points, you know. You're a brilliant thinker. Where your mind goes, yeah, how you get the thoughts that you get and how you vocalize them in the way that you vocalize them. I don't even know if you're still in the chat room, 007, but the way you vocalize what's going on up here, like, can we call it a talent? I don't know if we're allowed to call it a talent, but I don't have another word for it. You're brilliant at expressing yourself and expressing your thoughts and vocalizing them in a way that's understandable. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so full ratings to you for making the content that you do, you know, because that's a very, very selfless task to put yourself out there like that and say, you know what, this is what's going through my head. These are the thoughts that's coming to me, and that's exactly where I'm coming from. These are the you know, the thoughts that I'm having, the same thing that I'm just trying to portray to people. I'm just going, listen, this is what I pertain to be the truth. And I just want you to have it. I just want you to have it. I just want to share it with you. What you do with it, that's your business, right? I just want to share it with you. I just want to document it and have it here so that I can go back and I can look at it and go, okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay, that's what I was saying for myself and for anyone else that wants to take the time out to watch it. So if anyone has any spare time, and I know time's a massive commodity, but if anyone has any spare time, I strongly urge you to even if you have 10 minutes, just find a short version of 007's stuff and just have a 10-minute listen to what he's saying. Because real talk, he talks a lot about ego and, you know, humility and fear and all of these kind of emotions, and I feel that it's very, 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 very poignant in what we're dealing with the gravitas and the magnitude of the subject of the truth and flat earth, and being able to deal with it in our everyday lives and still being able to function and be positive and have a thirst for life and be waking up in the morning not feeling panicked and anxious and feeling like you're like excited to get on with sharing the truth and the synchronicity that things seem to have and the way that things seem to fall into place after you're awake and after you start accepting the truth for what it is and stop fighting it and leave the ego like back there somewhere. Just call it out and say, bro, put your seatbelt on and buckle up. You know? So no, I greatly appreciate you even just taking the time to just be here in this hangout. I never expected you to be in the hangout for a minute. I've watched a few of your videos and I've interacted in your hangouts a couple of times, but like just the fact that you've taken the time out, your personal time, to even just tune in to listen to what I'm saying, that's massive. And that's what I'm talking about with people communicating and interacting with one another. That shouldn't be seen as a conceited thing to do. And I feel like a lot of the people that are waking up and now joining this narrative of it's a conceited thing to do to become harmonious with other people. And God forbid we use the word unity, and God forbid we use the word group. I don't like that whole police state vibe that's going on where it's stopping people from interacting with people on a normal basis without the egos being involved. And I think, it's just, I want to say, can't we all just get along? Like, can't everyone that knows the earth to be flat, can't we just know that that's that serious? So because it's that serious, whatever other arguments we have, can't we just agree to disagree on some other things, but at least we know the earth to be flat, so we can agree on that, so we can all have a platform for a discussion. I just you know, in the moment, just so greatly humbled by someone that I've watched, and now that person has taken time out of their day to watch me. That's deep. That's deep. Oh, gee, you know what? I'll drink to that, you know. 007. Cheers. Cheers. That's what this technology is enabling us to do. That's what this technology is enabling us to do. Where are you? Tenerife, Gran Canaria? You're somewhere else, aren't you? You're not in the UK. You're somewhere else. And that's what this technology is doing. Same way me and Cece are having the conversation that we had. You know? Cece's over there in the States, I'm here in the UK. We've never met each other in real life, but there we are having a conversation, a public conversation in a hangout on YouTube. That's what technology can do. It's mad. It's mad. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, definitely. 007. 007. If you're even free now, you know, bruv, if you email operationrealness@yahoo.com, if you email me on that email, I'll send you the link for the hangout. That's not a problem. I'll happily do that. See, that's what I'm saying. I think if we all can just use a bit of humility, everyone in the chat room, there's no reason for everyone in the chat room not to communicate with each other and to just have that humility when they're, you know, communicating with one another. That's the way forward. DITRH. Well, hopefully you will soon. If you live near CC, you should definitely link up with each other, even if it's just at a coffee shop or you know, a steakhouse or something. Go have a meal and just have a public conversation. For definite. Yeah, 007. We could definitely do it in an hour or so. I'm going to be on for a little bit longer. I'm going to wait to see if Cece's available to have a public conversation. And once it's died down with the kids later on this evening, so GMT UK time, I'm thinking maybe about 10 p.m. UK time tonight, I might go back on. So again, so I'll be on for a little while longer still. And then I'm going to try and come on later on this evening. So hopefully that works with you. And 007, if you're listening, it's operationrealness@yahoo.com. Operationrealness@yahoo.com. If you just give me an email on that, I'll send you the link for the hangout. And then if you're not available till later on, I'll send you the link, and you know, you can come on later on. So that's all good. Fantastic. I tuned into the live stream that you were doing there the other day. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Love your stuff, man. Absolutely brilliant. Awesome. It's actually like a show. It's like I had a show going on in the background and I'm there just tuned in. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. Perfect. Excellent. Nice one. That's what I love. I love connecting with like-minded people, man. I really do. And I don't know about anyone else, but once you watch like a few hours of people, I feel like you get a gauge of the kind of mindset that they have in life. And I think it's just, like I said, having the technology at your fingertips to be able to look across the international flat plane of existence and network with other people that are like-minded. It's amazing. It's truly blown me away. It's truly blown me away. Yeah, I'm very grateful to have my family's support. I'm probably, you know, in a position where if I didn't have the support that I had from my partner and from my children and from my extended family, I wouldn't be able to pursue it as much as I do. The fact that my family haven't shut me down in a blaze of glory, the fact that my family don't tell me it's an unhealthy thing to be thinking, makes me understand that my family is a safe environment, and I hope everyone else is too. Hey, Chris. Hey.
Hey, Roxanne, how are you? I wasn't expecting you to come on. I see a couple of people in the chat room over there. I see Johnny from Staten Island. I see Dirk.
Fantastic.
Excellent. 007, nice. Excellent.
This is just what I'm saying, Chris. I'm saying this is the way forward for people to connect, for people to have healthy, humiliative conversations, understand that we agree the earth's flat, and then we have organic conversations from there on in. And that's
exactly
how we people, you know?
Exactly. You know what? I really respect you a lot, Roxanne. I mean, you got... Earlier, I was watching it when I was getting ready. I had to drive my daughter to church, and I'm going to pick her up right now. I'm going to go back home. I'm going to get on. Actually, I'm going to get on the computer, so I'm not driving in a freaking car. Like all my videos are. But I mean, you got into a lot of stuff with. Was it your daughter or?
It was my daughter and one of her school friends that's staying over.
That's so important. I mean, the kids are being so indoctrinated right now that is just unbelievable, to a point where, I mean, they're like sponges. I mean, whatever you tell them and at the age of 8 or 10, I mean, they're just going to absorb and they're going to live this the rest of their lives. To live, oh, God, don't get me fucking started on this.
It's the truth, though, Chris. It's the truth, isn't it? It really is.
It's a bunny rabbit. That's great.
It's not cool, man. It's not cool. And that's what I was just saying to everyone. Like, how far are we going to go in our lifetime before we get to a tipping point where the scientific community has been overswayed to accept the new knowledge because the old knowledge is now obsolete, and it wasn't knowledge, it was subverted, it was lies, and it was a belief system. So that is now obsolete. We've now got factual truth and evidential fact in play. We need it to be accepted by the masses, you know? That's
exactly. You're absolutely correct.
We can't have another generation of people thinking we landed on the moon.
No.
And I do not want
I'll tell you.
Space because they didn't.
Oh, God. You're going to get me started with this, aren't you? You really are. While I'm driving to pick up my daughter, you're going to get me started with the moon. Now, there's many beliefs that I have. I don't think it's a tangible. No.
I don't know if I can. You just cut out a little bit there, Chris. Say that again.
I have one.
Okay, so he might have just gone through a bit that's like lack of reception and stuff like that. But it's true, isn't it? You know, how many kids at school are getting taught that we landed on the moon, and how many kids at school are getting taught that they put a freaking car up there? Like, come on. Like, your grandkids are going to be saying, Grandpa, tell me about the time that they took the car and put it into space. And you know it was bullshit. You know it was bullshit. So, I you know, I say again, how long are we going to allow our children to be taken in school and shown that spinning globe? And it'd be acceptable. How many times are we going to kiss our kids goodbye in the morning and let them walk into an institute? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm hoping not everyone else can hear it. that playing as loud as I can, but it's very loud. But yeah, how many more times are we going to kiss our children goodbye in the morning and let them go into an institutionalized building where they're in an institutionalized setting being indoctrinated with a lie and a belief system? Maybe mixed in with what? 10% lies? Yes, okay, let me just get onto my emails. No, that's fine. It doesn't even smell bad anyway. It's cool. Kenny might want to get out of the way soon, but let me just do this. Copy, paste, and go. Right, give me 1 second, guys. If you just give me a sec, I'm going to just go here. I'm going to try and do this real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Just bear with me for 30 seconds, guys. I'm just trying to sort something out. Okay. So, that. Sorry, gang. I'm just going to try and sort this out. I've got the barbecue going as well, gang. So, or not. 1 sec. I'm going to try and do this without my daughter's help this time. You back, Chris?
All right, I'm right here.
Okay, give me 1 second, Chris. Just one,
no problem.
1 sec.
No problem.
I'm just going to go into this and reply. If you just give me a second. No worries, darling. Thinking I've done it. We'll find out in a second, Chris, if I've done it correctly. Okay, so 007, I've sent you a link for the chat, and with a bit of luck, you should be able to click your way in. I'm just going to double check I've done it correctly, though, if you just bear with me. It says here, okay, so yeah, I think I've done it correctly.
Oh, this is great. Don't you love this?
Sorry about
I'll
that,
tell you,
Chris.
you got to take advantage of this technology. This is how we all come together. I mean,
You
really.
know what? You're speaking a realist right about now, you know. You really are. You really are. It's about the technology, with us being able to communicate with each other across the international flat plane of existence like this.
I mean,
We've never
across
met
the
each other
pond.
in real life.
You know?
Yeah, we've never met each other in real life. But yet we're here
No way.
having this public
No way.
conversation.
Absolutely not.
We're able to have a public conversation without getting shut down in a blaze of glory. This is great. I'll drink to that. I've got loads of things to toast to today. This is brilliant. Cheers. Cheers to everyone that's watching.
Sounds excellent.
Cheers to us having a conversation. And with a bit of luck, we may get another guest, 007. You remember the guy I was telling you about?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
I watched a couple of his videos. I'm looking forward to it.
And that's what I want to openly admit that, like in private conversations we've had, how excited about this guy was I when I was telling you about him. I was like, oh my God, like this guy, he's just so deep, Chris. Like he's thinking about this. His mind is just going on a tangent, and I urged you to watch him, right? Selflessly. I just said, look at what this guy's saying, man. So selflessly, he's just saying these things, and they're resonating with me. Are they resonating with you, Chris? This isn't gang mentality. This isn't group mentality. This is just individual human beings talking and communicating, you know?
And that's why we have to form these small groups. You know, I mean, that's really what it's about. I mean, you know, small channels have to stick together. And just make sure we don't get infiltrated. It's the best thing to say to people out there that are just starting channels right now. And
I want to say
they're
about
doing.
this, I want to say for all the small channels out there that want to communicate with other people, don't feel like you're committing a crime by doing that. And it's not some secret group.
I know.
None of us are being secret about it. We're all just like that person's speaking stuff that resonates. And so what we're understanding is no matter where on the flat plane of existence you live, you're not the only one that thinks like this. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So because you're not the only one that thinks like this, you understand that with assuming any rate of progression at all, eventually it will get to a tipping point. End of story.
Exactly.
Assuming any rate of progression at all, just any rate of progression. It could be the most minute rate of progression of a factor of a minute rate of progression, yet it would still be enough that one day would create a tipping point. What if we're living in that tipping point now?
I think we are. I think you're absolutely right. That's why I don't understand why, everybody's afraid to contact other people. I put my email out there, I put my number out there. I get emails all the time from people, some good, some bad, whatever. But if you're putting yourself out there, as you are, as I am, and almost putting your, how do you want to say it? You're really just, it's like, I can't go work for a corporation right now. All right. There's no way. At this point, I've got hundreds of videos out there. Either I make a business of my own or I continue doing what I'm doing. And I don't give a shit because I really, at this point right now, look, the earth is flat. We've got to get the word out to everybody. And if you've got a small channel, contact, each other and just organize and group. And get real people in here and just have a chat, about just hanging out, and whatever.
And that's what we've got to understand, that there's nothing wrong with just having an organic conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
I have to do a little shopping. I'll be back in like 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna.
Yeah,
okay.
No worries.
All right.
I'm gonna try and help 007 get onto the hangout.
Is he on?
He's trying, but he said it keeps crashing every time. So I'm going to try and send him a link.
I don't doubt it. All right, should I put this on pause or just let it? I'll let it run. Who cares?
Let it run. It's all good. We'll be here either way. We'll be here.
Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
Perfect. The barbecue so far is going really well. It's not smoking too much. I think my partner is like a bit of a master barbecuer right about now. It's not smelling horrendous or anything, so I'm very, very impressed. I've got my partner who's like a stand-in Ramsay. The Ramsay in him comes out when the barbecue. I don't know about other men in the chat, but I feel like a barbecue thing is like a guy thing. Like guys like to take over the barbecue. So he predominantly does the barbecuing in the family. That's not my job. So 007, I am just yeah, I've just sent you another email, 007. So if you are in there, hopefully, hold on, let me just go in here. Hopefully, yes, right. 007, bear with me a second. I'm just going to do this again, and I'm going to do it another way around. I'm going to do this. Yeah. All right. Boom. Right, let me try this way. Nice. Okay. 007, give me 30 seconds to just do this. Okay. Okay. So, is that it or is that it? Okay. Okay, right. I've sent you another link, 007. So when you get the link, try and click that link because I've done it the way I wanted to do it now. Instead of copying and pasting. When I copy and paste, sometimes it doesn't work well. So if you click that link that I've just sent you, with a bit of luck, it'll pop up into the chat. So let me know if that works, 007, and follow at me and let me know if that's all good. And if it is, then great. Perfect. I'll try and keep my eye on the chat. I'm having to use my daughter's phone as well, as we are having a family barbecue this afternoon as well. So we are trying to actually catch somewhat of a vibe in the house. So I don't want to have a deathly silence outside. We are trying to play music and catch a vibe. My partner's being the ever patient partner that he is in the background, allowing me to do this, and I can't thank him enough for allowing me to do this. So I feel like the luckiest girl in the world, having a partner that allows me to enthuse in spending the time doing what I want to do. To me, it doesn't really get any better than that when you have someone that loves you and allows you to pursue the things that are important to you. It's deep. I may just have to go and get myself a top up because he's preoccupied with the barbecue. Yeah, 007, let me know if you're managing to get through on that link that I've sent you. With a bit of luck, that will work. And if it doesn't, let me know. Yeah, the problems aren't in my head too much. They're not too bad. I'm all right so far. Cece, if you have anything to say to the chat room, say it now, because my glass is empty and I need to...
Well, my favorite deli just closed out of nowhere that I used to go to all the time.
And I mean, this is a of times. You know, I mean, you got Walmart and all these ridiculous shops opening up all over the place, and they're putting these little guys out of business. I mean, this guy's been open for like 30 years. Now I got to drive across the the other.
Hey, could you just pass me the bottle instead? Is that all right? Is that cool?
All right, refresh your drink. See what you got to do. I got to, gosh, unbelievable. You see what's happening? I mean, I hate to bring up, names because I don't want to get strikes at all. But I mean, you see these big box stores that are just taking over. I mean, the small businesses that are out there. I know it's convenient. I know it's cheap. All right. I mean, I know you save a couple of bucks here and there, but I mean, you don't understand. These small time stores are, struggling. I mean, all over the country, all over the world. I mean, it's really a shame.
We support our local market as well. We have a market that happens the last Saturday of every month down at the local parade where we live. Mm-hmm. They sell all local produce, local fruit, veg, skincare products. They're all handmade, and everyone really kind of, the community that we live in, they kind of really are behind people independently selling things and not becoming a part of a franchise. And they support grown produce where I live anyway. They're kind of enthused with people to do it.
And we used to have a lot of stores like that around the area, but I mean, slowly but surely they're just all shutting down. Little thrift stores, hobby stores and stuff like that. And I don't want to blame myself because my daughter likes a lot of the Walt Disney stuff, and you can't buy any of this Walt Disney stuff unless if you go to the big box stores. That's the only places that sell it. You can't get it anywhere else. You walk into a stationery store, in town, you're not going to find it. You got to walk into these big box stores and buy this crap. I'm slowly getting out of that. She's getting out of the Walt Disney world, thank God. The cartoon world, shall we say. Oh, wow. She's starting to wake up a little bit. And I see you're doing a great job. I mean, I listened to the first segment.
It's the most imperative thing, isn't it, Chris? As I'm talking to you, I'm just going to start moving because I think it's probably a good idea for me to move a little bit from where my partner is.
Sure. Yeah.
I need to stay close to the Wi-Fi. So.
You have beautiful blue skies over there. It's rainy and, well...
Everyone see. Can everyone see that? Can everybody see? Blue skies.
Wow. Excellent. That's a real cloud you got over there. No chemtrails today.
I've got my own personal clouds. Come out the way so everyone can see. No worries. I'll back off. Don't worry. Okay. Chris, if you just talk to everybody while I move the seat a little bit. I'm I'm just going to move the seat a little bit, okay, Chris? So you can talk
Yeah,
to
that's
everybody.
fine.
I've got to move away a little bit. Everyone's more than welcome to see me moving stuff. It's fine. I'm not going to do anything behind the scenes, okay? No behind the scenes stuff going on here. I can't be too far away from the Wi-Fi. Well, let me see how far the Wi-Fi can go. I don't think it's going to go that far, though.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
Yeah? Okay. Give me 1 second.
So far, so good.
Okay. Good. Just give me 1 second. I just need to ask my partner.
No problem. I'm just driving across town to get to the deli over here. Hopefully he's still open. Fuck.
All right, so almost there now, guys.
You know, really, guys, the thing is with delis, you know, it's not only the big box stores that are putting them out of business, but I mean, what you need to do, you have to have fresh food. All right, if you don't have food, you're not going to make it. And if you don't have people you can trust that work for you, you're not going to make it either. So I want to way, but you need fresh food. If you're going to serve crap, people aren't going to buy it. I'm certainly not going to buy it. This is the last deli that I know of that is actually really good. A Spanish guy bought it about a year and a half ago. And we're going to go in there right now. Thinking about doing the phone. I'm thinking about doing, oh, good shit. I don't know. I got the red light. I don't know. Anybody in the chat room? Should I go into this deli and start to speak about flat Earth? Because I go in here quite a bit. And I have no way of accessing the chat room at all whatsoever. Let me see if I can even do that right now. No. Oh, Dirt called me. Nice. That's Dirt out there. He just, I think he sent me a text message. Nice. I'll definitely meet him out in the crab shell out there. Absolutely. That's out in Stamford, Connecticut. It's right by the water right there on the dock. Nice. I've been there in years. Crab Shell's got a little tiki bar, and they've got seafood. They've got all sorts of, you know, terrific things you can enjoy yourself and eat. They got shrimp, Lamb's Casino, what I love. Goddamn line. All right.
Sorry, guys. Okay. So, I'm back. I'm a little bit further away now. I'll be able to look at the chat room as well. Sorry about that, Cece.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I'm just, I got stuck at a red light. I'm thinking about, has anybody commented, should I go into this deli right now and talk about flat Earth. I'm
Yeah.
really tempted. I go in there all the time. I just kind of
do it at the end of your. Do it at the end. Once you've done the interaction you need to do, just say it like on like a Columbus afterthought, if you know what I mean. You know, like a Columbus style.
That's funny. That's good. You're absolutely right.
Columbo. You know the guy Columbo back in the day.
Oh, I loved watching him. One of the best actors, I'll tell you.
And so, like, very unassumingly, at the end of your interaction with them, just bring it in. By the way, no. You know,
I'm gonna try to capture this on the phone right now. What the fuck? I'm just tired of it. I really, you know what? New Yorkers, the people in New York right now. I mean, this guy owns a business, so he's probably gonna get a little. It's kind of. I just can't go up to people and just say, hey, look, you want to go on my YouTube channel or you want to go live? Because their reputation's at stake, and I understand that, and I respect that. But I want people to understand that I'm trying to get out to other people and trying to explain the situation that everybody's fucking in here.
Yeah.
It just pisses me off.
Yeah, everyone's saying, please take us into the deli with you.
All right.
Yeah?
Almost there. Yeah, I'm going to go. What the fuck?
So true.
He's a nice guy. I forget what his first name is. I think I forget. I don't know, Stan or something. But
there's a lot of going on in the chat room. I'm finding it very difficult to keep up with the chat room without losing my train of thought. Cece, I'll be honest with you.
I don't blame you.
So,
I mean, it's like I'm telling somebody that I've got, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, we're trying to tell people the truth. And it's gotten to a point where it's made us feel so. I already lost, quite a few friends. I can't even walk into a restaurant anymore now. The one down the street over here, because I already laid the flat Earth bomb on them, and now I walk in there, and then what do I get? I get this fucking asshole coming up. Oh yeah, you're a flat, earther or what. Whatever the hell. And I'm up. If you're not into it, get the fuck away from me. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Don't come back up to me.
That's the sad thing about it. It's this, that as soon as you start to publicly try and interact with people about this, you end up being ridiculed. You end up being ridiculed, and you could be ridiculed by people that you've known for over a decade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it really is a shame. It really is a shame. I mean, I've been driving around with this vanity plate, and I actually had somebody come up to me the other day, last weekend. I made a video of it, and that was somebody who was, he's awake right now. I mean, he definitely is awake. And he next to mine, and he waited for me to get out from the supermarket, obviously.
So.
And when I got into my car, he asked me, what's up with the plate? And then I just went into it, and I don't know where he is. His name is Phil. I was hoping he would find my channel. I didn't really. I mean, I just said CC. I don't know if you could find it with those initials. But.
To be honest, before I subscribed to your channel and I actually tried to search for your channel, when I put CC in, you didn't come up. A million other people came up. I had to put CC Flat Earth in for you to come up in the top 5 suggestions in the list when I was looking for channels. Even I had to change the filter, put it on channel, and then go from there.
Yeah, he's probably not going to be able to find me. Actually, what I should tell YouTube, I think it's probably the way they'll be able to find me.
Interact with people and you tell them to find your channel. What I would suggest you do is tell them to put CC Flat Earth in their channel, in their search, and then they don't need to change it.
Yeah. That'll definitely pull it up. Absolutely, Roxanne, yeah.
In the top 4 with your wee profile picture. So it was very easy to put Flat Earth in after.
Well, that was why I put that. I mean, that was why I put my. I'm sorry.
Go for it. Go ahead.
No, I mean that's why I put my profile picture in there. I mean my real picture, you know, because I'm sick and tired of seeing, you know, these cartoon pics and all this other nonsense, and that's fine. You know, whoever's doing that, that's great. Who cares? You know, but I was just like, fuck it. You know, I'm just gonna put myself out there. Obviously, let me just put my real picture out there. So if I do leave comments on other people's, you know, live chats or whatever it be, they're gonna know it's me. You know, because a lot of what I've noticed is a lot of the, I don't want to say trolls, but I mean, what they're doing is they're actually taking pictures of the same pictures of people that I know, that I trust, and they're kind of putting almost the same name over there too. So when I see comments with them and I see their little pic of a store or whatever their little picture is of a flower or whatever the fuck it is, you know, it kind of, they're doing this on purpose. Yeah. You know, that's what they're doing. You know, that's why I said, fuck it. You know what? This is me. That's who I am. This is my pick. And I'm CC. By the way, CC stands for my initials, my name, if anybody wants to know. First name is Christopher. And it's not 33 or any bullshit like that.
No, I'm the same as well.
All the time. All the time I get it.
Yes, that's the name. So, I'm out there.com as well, like you are. In that sense, I've just put my name out there, and that's that, and that's the end of that as far as that's concerned. There's no hiding away from
it.
I am who I am.
You went. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's what I did. All right. Give me a second. Let me test this guy out, and I'm gonna put this on pause for a minute. All right.
Of course. Yeah. Okay, so everybody, he's going to go into the deli right about now, and he's going to try and set this up so that he can interact with the guy in the deli as he was just telling us. So fingers crossed for that interaction right there. So he's going to take the camera off and see. I'm going to go into the deli Sunday. I'm assuming CP's a few hours behind me. So it's about 11 o'clock in the morning. I see he is. And he's going to go into the deli and interact. And I think that's what it is all about. So getting back to Honest Man, CC's vanity license plate says NASA Live. He has a NASA Live plate on his vehicle. And for anyone that's in the UK and they're watching us right now and they are listening to what I'm saying to this guy asking what CC's vanity plate is, and you want to get the equivalent over here, would be going to Halfords with your registration plate of your car and having an imprintation put in the bottom of your registration plate saying a statement. You know, you could have a statement saying the earth is flat. You could have a statement saying NASA lies. You could have a statement you could put on the bottom of your registration plate if you're the type of person to make content on your channel about the truth and about the globe plie and the heliocentric indoctrination bullshit. You could put the link to your channel on the bottom of your registration plate. You can go to Halfords, it's about $15.99, and they will happily do that for you within a couple of hours. And are you okay? Okay. We've got well, here we go. Here's the subject for debate. Is this man's very own creation? Fire. Before you put that on, can I just show it? Sorry. Yeah. Fire. Fire is burning, everybody. Okay. You can put the grill on. And the barbecue is on the go. We have a go with the barbecue. We are a go with the barbecue. So, back to the discussion. Cece's going into the deli. I think Cece's about to have a human interaction with the guy in the deli. As he said, he's had interactions with him before. So that should be an interesting subject for debate. And to 007, 007, my darling, were you able to get the link? Was it working? I did notice that the email address that you gave me was an iCloud email address. I'm not sure if it works with iCloud. I have been told that you kind of have to have like a Gmail or a Yahoo or some some other generic. Can anyone else in the chat room help me out on that one, please, with the hangout things? Is there like a generic host for email addresses that works better with hangouts? Because I want to know why it was crashing all the time for 007. He wasn't able to get into the hangout and openly share his views on the platform. And I was gutted about that. So where I'm still a bit of a novice myself, 007, I'm not really able to, I mean, I'm just going to try and go into now to see if I can click into my emails. Yeah, I'm not sure if it worked or not. Okay, so just, yeah, give me a second, guys. Sorry, give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Just double check. Sorry, guys. Sorry this is taking so long. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try and send 007 a link. I've just got the email. I'm working on like 2 phones and a laptop, so just bear with me while I try and sort this out. Okay, so I've sent the link to the alternative address, and hopefully that link will go through. So 007, if you're listening to the chat room just now, I've sent you a different link, and I'm just going to double check that that's the correct link, and then I'm going to get back to what we're saying. And we've got Cece going into the deli as well. Start doing the chicken. On the outskirts of it, and when the flames die down, move them in. Wait for the flames to go down. Yeah, so I think you should. Yeah, are you alright doing that? I'll get them from you if you want. I'm gonna quickly go in here and see them. Okay. Okay. And I'm just going to try that alternative email, 00. Now. I'm just double check I've got the right one. Okay. I think this one should be correct. Okay, I've done it. Okay, so 00, if you get that link, by all means, my darling, click it and come on in. No, I don't think that one's working. I just tried that Yahoo one. So I've just tried the other one, the Gmail one that you were talking about. I've just sent the email right now to the Gmail one. So hopefully that will come through. And if it does, by all means, click it and come on. And I'm really sorry it just took me. Don't call me Bullet for nothing, eh? So yeah, let me know. Give it a try. And hopefully it will work. With a bit of luck. With a bit of luck. I'll just double check it's sent.
I had everything set up, and I get no reception down here. I mean, how? I have 3G network right here. Unbelievable. All right. All right. I'll be back in a sec. Three fucking G network. Unbelievable.
Right, so sorry, guys. So sorry. Pass it to Jesse. Jesse! In the drawer, there's the equivalent of that in the drawer. Sorry, guys, I've got a barbecue going on at the same time, but if you just give me 20 seconds, I'll be sat back down again.
I just don't make it for
Go for it. Okay, guys, sorry, we're completely sorted now, so I'm just going to top my drink up and get coffee. The girls are going to do the chips in the oven. So yeah. Okay, so now let me see what's going on here. Okay, sorry, my darlings. Yeah, just click camera to join. Okay, 00, you're almost there. Now I can do this. Hold on, everyone. Oops. Go in here and I can do this. So if you just hold on a second, 00, I'm just gonna click this into the. All right, 00, if you just click that. Yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair at all. Yeah. I really don't get what goes on with this sometimes. I think it like tries on us from all communicating with one another. It's not fair. But yeah, 007, see if you can click that and join in. With a bit of luck, it might let you. So he's almost there. We're almost there. We've got food on.
Take a walk. Why not? Take it out on the street. So, do you believe in the Bible? You believe in the Scripture?
Basket. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, in the cupboards. Yeah, pop it here, darling. Thank you. Okay. Trying to ascertain if CC's in the deli yet and he's communicating. I can hear him talking. Yeah. I'm not doing very good with keeping up with the chat room. I'm not sure if it's working for 007. With a bit of luck, it is. With a bit of luck, it will. I got the screenshot 007, so I'm really not sure what's going on. Yeah, I really think that as you can, sweetheart, chop them as small as you can. Yeah, or at least a tiny bit more than half. Yeah, in that. Yeah. I think. I think the emphasis has to be with the youth. If we can't help the youth wake up early, then I think we're going to battle over to a generation that doesn't know what to do with it. Okay, Lady Onyx, just sorting out dinner. I'll be back in a bit. Thank you very much for listening to what I've got to say. And hope to see you back in a bit shortly, darling.
Oh, fuck.
You okay, Cece?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
You know, I can tell you right now what happened.
Go for it. We're all ears.
2 cops were in there, so I don't think it was the best thing for me to do. I
honestly, yeah, try not to get arrested.
Yeah, well, that's great. You know, they were just getting coffee. That's fine, but I don't think it was a good idea for me to get into it. Oh my gosh, shit. All right.
It's like it's not fair, isn't it? As soon as you go to say something, you're policed straight away.
And then I lost reception. Well, I also lost reception down there too. It's not a great area. Usually, there's only about. I only get about 3 bars down in that area anyway.
Okay.
Then I was on 3G network and 2G network. Are you still on, or how long are you going to be on for?
I'm still on for now. I'm kind of ad hoc. I can't be doing open above. So yeah, I'm on just now, but I've not completely ruled out going on later on as well once the kids have died down a little bit. You know, I'm obviously trying to keep my profanity talking to a minimum, which happens when I somewhat get passionate about what I'm talking about. So I'm keeping it child friendly right now. But you know, I opened up the line of debate with the girls today, and I feel that you know, the kids of today have become very disillusioned with what they're being taught in school with science. They all have been very disillusioned with it. They know that you know scientific documents become obsolete after a certain amount of time, and they need to be updated. And they believe that they're in a time where you know they're living in a time where it's time for an update.
All right, I'm going to switch over to the main computer. Give me a couple of minutes.
Yep, no worries.
All right, I got your link, so I should be able to just open it up, and I should just bounce right in, right?
Go back into the group chat and click the link and come on in. I put it in there for 007. 007 joined it, so go to the one where there's me, you, and 007, and just click.
Excellent.
And if it works for you, it should work for him.
Okay. All right. Give me 5-10 minutes. I'll be there.
All right. No worries. So, as I was saying, I feel that the issue is with the youth. If we can't start waking the youth up at home, if we can't start telling them the truth at home and understand that we can open that dialogue with them without making them feel like they've got to give up on life, still have them have a thirst for life, a thirst for beating the system, so to speak, but waking them up in the process and waking them up with the line of question what you're being told at school. You're not being taught. You're being told beliefs. You're not being taught anything. You're not being taught anything factual or evidential. You're being taught a belief system. You're being taught someone's belief. Gravity is not a fact. Theory. Airy fairy. Nothing that can be held tangibly and proven. This is where it's at. We're only going to be here for a certain amount of time, and then it's up to the next generations. And what are we going to give them? We've already come this far. Look at that sky. Do you know how rarely we get blue skies here? We get blue skies. It's so rare, right, babe? Like once in a blue moon do we get them. We don't get them. Does anyone in the chat room does anyone in the chat room have a dynamic with the youth just now? Does anyone have an open line of communication with people under the age of 21? Is anyone open to talking about in public? You know? Is anyone engaging with the kids? It seems that we're engaging with enough adults, but are enough of us engaging with kids? So, while CC's doing what he's doing, I'm just going to explain to you what I'm looking to do. From this point onwards, I'm going to carry on making live streams. I'm going to carry on coming on at the weekends. I'm going to carry on having conversations about truth, subjects that I pertain to a certain time with. I also intend to go out and speak to as many people that I can that I don't know and wait for them to get. I also am looking to connect with members of my family. I'm looking to connect with members of the public that have been indoctrinated to the point where they have graduated and glorified as a result of it. And I'm looking to ask those people and appeal to those people to try and help me eclipse the lies that we've got. And overwhelmingly sway the scientific community to understand that we've been living in an age of indoctrination and a belief system. Sorry, my daughter's just asking me something. Yeah, I think that should be a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, my daughter's doing her own little vegetable skewer thing for the barbecue. So that's really at the moment, we've got some lovely chicken on the barbie. Sorry, it's smelling really yummy, so I'll show you it. We're not really big on the whole meeting thing, but we've got people in the house that are, so we don't really try to enforce our life on other people. We still let other people eat meat, so be it. Me personally, I'm with a potato salad. Really do with some of right now. You're right. Okay. I agree, Carlson. I feel like with like an umbrella that goes over. I'm up to. It sounds like Susie's like moving a whole lot of stuff around right about now. I'm not sure what you're up to, Susie. Sounds like you're beating up a filing cabinet or something. So, yeah, see, I think he's doing bits right about now. Yeah, it's a Sunday afternoon. It is May 20th. 2018, Sunday afternoon. It is 4:27 GMT. I'm Roxanne. This is my hangout. I'm talking about flat Earth and all other truths. And someone so rightfully said, cast iron. Research other things as well. Look into things yourself. Independently look into things. Critically think by yourself. Have independent thought. Don't look to others. Your own thoughts. Have your own thoughts. Get your own thoughts together first and foremost, and then communicate with them. I'm not preaching that to you. I'm just saying this is what I do. I don't like ask others. I have my own thoughts, and then I try and communicate that to others. That's where I'm coming from. Random. Like I said, the chat's going quite quickly. Lady Onyx, you work with young people. See what I'm saying? We're all given opportunities and being put into positions where we've got the opportunity to talk to young people. Lady Onyx, if you can find the opportunity to talk to people about alternative you have an opportunity or window or platform even to even open suggestions.
No, that's all right. I'll be there in 1 second.
No worries, Chris. You have the opportunity to do that. You know what? Maybe chop up really so yeah, the girls are having herbalistic ideas with the recipes that they're doing. So oh no, see what I'm saying about my train of thought. What was I saying with that? What was I saying? They can have what real life going on in the background. Can someone remind me what I was just saying, please, before my train of thought was disturbed? Right, that's out of order. Are you serious, 007? None said it's for real, you know. They're not going to let me join, not by phone, nor by computer. Okay, so if you're unsuccessful in joining today or just now, I really would love to communicate with you on any format, whether it's a private hangout or whatever. And then we'll try and set up a scenario where we can come up on a live. I really don't know what's happened, 007, and I'm pissed that you can't get on. I'm so excited at the prospect of being able to communicate with you on a first-time basis like this. I'm borderline. John Jones, you're back. Nice one to have you back, bro. John Jones, if you're back, I'm still talking about the youth, you know. I feel like more of us have got to talk about the youth, even you, John. Like, if you're available and you want to come on the live stream, bro, thank you, come on. By all means, come on. Please do. I'll send you a link on the email. I'll email you the link now if you want. And by all means, come if you're available to talk. As I said, I'm out here with the other half barbecuing. Hello, everybody. We're out here barbecuing. He's doing his whole thing, doing the meat on the barbecue. But yeah, John, if you're up for coming on, that'd be great. And I was telling everybody that, with a bit of luck, you're going to be moving forward and getting you what do we call it? You said you were going to go on and hopefully try and get your son involved and start talking publicly about this with your teenage son. So I think I'm all for that. I'm rooting for you to do that. I'm really rooting for you to do that. And I'm trying to stress that to everybody. Like, as much as the youth that we can involved and talk publicly about this, the better. Because even if people learn late, we've got to help them learn early. Form them again, thanks to everybody that's tuned in. There's so many names to list. I'm just going to sit here and reel through everybody's names. Thank you for, seriously, to everyone that's tuned in. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's a lovely day, so I greatly appreciate you taking the time out to listen to what I've got to say. Joining and nothing is... Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting distracted at the same time as my partner. I sent so many links, and I'm not sure why it's not working. I'm gutted. Right, my sound is not so great today, so what I might do, I'll try something here. My internet's come down a little bit as well. It's like YouTube's trying to come down on my hangout. Yeah, well said, Baron. Glorious clear day. Nothing's moving. To think the ground is just silly. LOL. Well said. Well said, John Jones. He says, yeah, loads of ideas going through what he's being taught against reality, doing some tests too. I think that's going to be absolutely brilliant. It means that parents like me are going to be able to click into YouTube and engage our teenagers and go, look, not just there's other teenagers out there as well. And I think that sometimes will give them an area of confidence to talk about it publicly without fear of ridicule that my daughter and her friend was talking about earlier on. Like if they stood up in class, they'd quite easily get ridiculed, you know? So, yeah, so if it's a really bad connection, I'm sorry if everyone can't hear me properly. CC's just trying to get set up just now so that he can come back properly on his no. If I mute CC, have I muted CC for everybody now? Now that I've muted CC, can everybody hear me better? If everyone can hear me better now, while I've muted CC, just while he's getting set up in his house, I think. I'm hoping you can all hear me properly. I'm hoping the connection's not too bad. CC just now, he's just getting set up on his computer, so he's just doing some bits and pieces, but the background noise may be causing some interference on the live stream, so I don't really want to cause too much interference. So just let me know if you can hear me just all right just now. Angel Raven 444, Wi-Fi is dodgy in the UK. Lots of MI6 listening in. Yeah, probably so. Thank you so much for tuning in, Flat Earth Dude. I really appreciate you being here. You rock, man. Okay, Old School Warrior, thank you very much for tuning in. All right, glad to say I sound better now. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, good. All right, I'm getting somewhere with it now. So yeah, my emphasis is to maintain making content on here, maintain interacting with people on here, maintain affirmedly pushing forward the fact that we live on a flat plane of existence, trying to awaken people to the fact they've been lied to and indoctrinated to the fact that we live on a spinning ball, and educated into a belief system, and educated into something that's not factual, not something that we can evidently prove with our hands, tangibly, measurable evidence. We don't live on a spinning ball, we live on a flat plane of existence. Let me just repeat that again. Cheers. We live on a flat plane of existence. Cheers. See, 007, I'm gutted, man. Hopefully we're going to get this together. I really, really, really want to be able to speak to you. Just so everyone in the chat room knows, 007, we've never had any interaction with each other, you know, prior to this. I've just watched some of his content. I'm humbly grateful that he's taken time out of his day to watch some of my content. I stress and urge anybody to take 5 minutes out of their time and listen to some of the stuff I've listened to him say, like the way his mind's moving, like, whoa, like, wow. Like, if you can take 5 minutes out of your day and just even listen to some of the stuff this guy's saying, I promise you, you won't regret it. And I've never had any human interaction with him prior to this, but I've watched enough of his content to know that he's a sound guy. He's a legit guy. And I'm humbled that he wants to come on and talk, and even more humbled that he's here taking time out of his day listening to me. So again, thank you 007 for even being here and interacting with everyone in the chat room just now. And I hope everyone in the chat room gets some of 007 in their life, man, because he's talking a realist out here, you know. He's talking some of the realest stuff I've heard in months. Months. Some of the realest. Yeah, you see, John Jones, this is the stuff the teachers are dealing with, you know. This is the stuff the teachers are dealing with. I'm just going to take Chris off mute for a minute because I just want to see if he's there. Hold on. Let me try and take him. Oh, crap. No, I don't know how to unmute him. Imagine that. All right, so I'm having problems unmuting him now. How do I unmute him? Why is it not letting me unmute him?
You know, like the burgers thing, the red onion.
All right, lovely. I don't know what's going on now. Okay, CC, you there? Okay. Are you there, CC? I can't hear you. Can everyone else hear CC? Okay, I'm going to eject that one and leave this one, and hopefully... Why is this not working now? All right, CC, I can't hear you at all. Let's see if I can hear this. Yeah, for some reason I can't hear you. I can't hear CC. CC, I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Okay, just for everyone in the chat room, can you all hear me? Yeah, I've ejected the one that he was before, and now I've got him in there. Yeah, for some reason I can't hear you. Yeah, so you can see him but can't hear him. We can see you, but we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Okay. Oh no, I'm in Jessica's one anyway. So sorry to everyone that's tuned in, and we're having some technical difficulties. Just give me a second. I'm just going to go and grab my charger. Just give me 1 sec. Everyone's.
Do you want the girls to set them up? The girls, oh, those ones.
Keep them turning.
Have a bowl to put these in.
There you are. Hi, sorry. Okay, we sorted out the technical glitch with Chris. I'm not sure if we have. Okay, Chris, can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Oh, you're using my phone.
No, you can take it. Can't hear you. Hold on, let me get my phone. Okay. Can't hear you, Chris. So, okay, hopefully Chris is going to go and come back again. And we'll be able to hear him. So, yeah, with a bit of luck, we'll get back to that. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that I've been disturbed so many times in this hangout. But I don't really look at it as a disturbance. Like my life's going on as I'm making this hangout. If I waited for every opportunity that I've got a free time to make a hangout, then I would probably be waiting forever and I would never get any time to do it. So I've had to do it on top of what we're doing already. And I kind of wanted to do it as a bit of a trial. I kind of wanted to see if we could do what we're doing in our house anyway. And can I still have a live hangout at the same time? And it looks very much like I can. So it looks like real life can go on meanwhile, which is a good thing. And that's another thing, you know, knowing that the earth is flat hasn't stopped me from waking up in the morning and doing what I need to do. It's not changed that part of my life. It's just changed what's going on in here and what's going on in here. I now know what my life is. I know that it's not, you know, on a spinning ball anymore. How I live my life now has changed dramatically as a result of that. My need for things has changed. I now don't really worry about having things in abundance. I don't worry about that. The things I used to worry about and the things I worry about now are two different things. I don't worry about the materialistic things that I used to worry about. I worry more about the immaterial things, the things that are going on in my heart, the things that are going on in my family, and how I conduct myself with people every day. Yeah, it changed me as a person as well. So, hoping this works. No, that's not worked. That's not worked at all. Okay, that's not worked. Okay, so Cece's just come back round another way. So I'm now going to see if I can copy and paste this. Sorry, guys. As you may know, I am somewhat of a novice at this, so you're just going to have to bear with me, I'm afraid. Okay, so CC, if you're listening, click the link. And 007, click that link. With a bit of luck. I'm just going to try and do some bits here to see if I can sort this. It was a separate. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm trying my best. I'm not really sure how to conduct these kind of mass hangouts where you got a few people on it at the same time, but I'm doing my very best, and that's all I can do. So, bear with me. A lot of stuff that will be very conducive and hopefully resonate with a lot of people. So I think what I might do, guys, is I might come off air just now and I might come back on in about an hour or so, and I might try and set up these technical difficulties that we're having. We're having lack of sound, we're having lack of ability for people to join in. So I'm going to do that just now, and then I'll come back on a bit later. So I appreciate everybody that's come in, and I appreciate everybody that's listened to what I've got to say. I've got tons more to say. I'm going to sort a few bits and pieces out with my family, and then I'll be back. All right. So I appreciate you all for coming and listening. Cheers. Bye.